Hey!
What is good? What is good, everybody?
Welcome to the bros, everyone.
What a do.
Alan, Marcos, Christian. Back at you. What's up, guys? How are you?
Oh. I mean, a little distracted, getting ready to
Oh, yeah.
to take off.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
You're taking off soon. That's awesome.
He's going international.
Bags are over there. Just a suitcase and a duffel bag. That's it.
And you're already packed?
Packing.
Oh, okay.
I'll be packed by tomorrow night, probably.
All right. I mean, I probably would have been. Wait, actually, do you leave in the early morning, afternoon, evening? Afternoon. I probably would have.
No red eye. No red eye.
I probably would have been packing. Oh yeah, it's a red eye. Are you kidding me?
It's a red eye. Have you?
Oh, it's a red eye.
He hasn't.
You travel east to Europe, it's a red eye getting there every single time, and then coming back is like the longest day ever.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Mark's longest flight, I think, has been like 6 hours to Mexico or something like that.
That's pushing it. That's pushing it.
Oh yeah, because it wasn't that far.
Get on our level.
Yeah, get on our level, bro. Marcos, what's up?
Well, as you know, girls' soccer season started, so that means reffing. So had a game today, right? Halftime, 11-0. I'm like, what the flip?
Blaine.
It was Olympus at West, and West had 2 subs on the bench. Olympus had a full roster that they could have put another roster out there. So the mercy rule in high school sports is 8-0, 10 minutes into the second half. So we got to go home early. So I was happy.
You got paid for the full game?
I got paid for the full game. So
Good. Oh,
yeah.
My sympathies to Olympus.
No, to West.
To West.
Seriously, though, sympathies to West. That's tough. That's so tough.
In my opinion, I don't think that they should have a mercy rule in high school sports. Like, make them suffer. Make them suffer.
Why, Cobra Kai? Why?
Jeez, dude.
No mercy. No mercy at all.
Chill out, bro. Christian, what were you saying about levels?
Oh, you mean the level of stuff we're going to be talking about today? That was a horrible transition.
That was a really bad transition.
So bad.
We have a lot of levels to talk about. In fact, we have a lot of things. Guys, we know there's not a game this week, which I know. You'd kind of think that this episode would kind of be meh because there's no game. Like, we love talking about games. But there's still stuff to talk about. In fact, big stuff to talk about. So we're going to talk about all the things transfer news, RSL related. We're going to get into, I guess we're going to grade them. We're going to review every single transfer. We're going to talk about where they fit in the lineup. I guess we're going to give our opinions, better yet. We're not going to tell you where they fit because we're not the coach. We're going to talk about a little bit about MLS transfers, some other MLS teams that have some big names coming. And then I guess the U.S. national team just threw out, or not the national team, national team news. They didn't. I mean, the national team didn't.
It's not official, but
right. Practically is.
It's kind of like when we announced Dominik Marczuk, right?
Yeah, there's like a couple, like a week ago. But we're gonna get into U.S. national news that we just heard, like barely before coming onto this. So let's dig into this. So today, officially announced, Dominik Marczuk is officially signed with RSL, the 20-year-old Polish who played for a team that none of us can pronounce.
I was watching his game yesterday.
Yeah,
I was watching his game yesterday, the Champions League qualifier, and I was trying for the longest time to know how to pronounce that. I couldn't. I was like, I don't speak Polish. I can't
tell who was who, to be completely honest.
It wasn't until the second half.
Working.
Yeah, it wasn't until the second half when he was closer to the camera. I'm like, oh, there's Dominik. I found him.
Yeah. I mean, so you guys caught the Champions League game that he played in yesterday?
Somewhat. I was working, and so you got to focus at work.
Sure.
I was. We're so busy right now.
I mean, Really? Is it really that busy season? Sure.
The grind never stops. The grind never stops.
Yeah, I can't really talk about much, so the grind never stops.
That's a great summary there. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Dominik. Let's talk for those of us that watched the Champions League game or have watched highlights of him. So I decided to send out a tweet today comparing Dominik with Gomez. All right, we all saw it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think of when you guys look at Dominik's stats compared to Gomez? Gomez's stats this season / last season. Let's start with Christian. Give me what you think. If Dominik is even near Gomez's level, if he's past it.
That's a loaded question, man.
I mean, we have all the time in the world.
Gosh, leave me as stumped as I left Jay Glad with my question. Honestly, it's a hard comparison because you take a look. The leagues are obviously completely different. Yes, Dominik was playing in Europe, but he was playing in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Poland has produced, decent players like this one guy. I don't know if you've heard of him, called Robert Lewandowski. Mediocre,
Maybe.
He I think he scored a goal once.
Only once.
Yeah. But it's a difficult comparison because MLS is a better league. It is a much better league than the Polish league. That being said, the numbers are impressive. He was definitely a playmaker, which I think is needed. He's the type to score goals when possible, but having double the assists compared to goals last season, I think stands out a lot because that's going to be someone who is going to be able to dish in crosses or just ground passes to the likes of Chicho Arango and Diogo Goncalves.
I'm glad you said Diogo because some of us were maybe thinking that Crooks may still play, but
no.
It's possible with rotation needing to be done. I don't think Crooks is played himself out of the lineup. I think they just haven't found the right usage for him yet.
Right. All right. Marcos, give me your thoughts because obviously we can't compare apples to apples. Gomez and Marczuk are not the same player, but I mean their impact is felt on both teams.
Yeah, kind of exactly what Christian said. Watching this game, you have the Polish league comparing to the MLS. Watching his team in the game yesterday, they were just very slow. They couldn't keep up with the team they were playing at all in that first half.
There was no defense.
No defense at all. The other team was just kind of dribbling, had a heyday of a time scoring goals. But looking at stats-wise, because that's the only game I've seen of Dominik, he seems like a very solid player. Like he has assists, 10 of those. He can create chances, which we need desperately because that's kind of what Gomez was doing, but kind of not to the level of what Dominik can bring. So I like the youth, 20 years old, so up and coming. So we'll see. We'll see what he can produce for us.
So this is a funny thing. I was reading. Some people were commenting about this. That the Polish social media, or the Polish fans, we'll call them, because I can't pronounce that team's name. But those fans were they were upset at the price that they were selling him for. You guys saw how much we got him for, $1.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to find a comparison to us. Have we ever undersold a player that we thought was super good? Because everyone's saying, everyone with this Gomez sell is like we should have sold him for 15 or something like that. We only sold him for 11 plus 2 add-ons.
Well, I was going to say for the Gomez one, maybe we'll touch on it in a second, but I was expecting maybe a little bit more maybe not exactly 15, but somewhere around the ballpark of like 12, 12.5. So,
I mean,
the reported fee right now is 10.5 with 2 to 3 million additionally add on. So it's about there. I know, but I think that shows how much that, I really want to give this Polish team due. Jagiellonia has like how much love they have for this player, and
yeah.
And that's just, but even compared to the FOTMOB value of him, he has a $4.5 million value on FOTMOB.
Exactly.
Which makes me think that the Polish fans are absolutely justified.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. When I looked on, obviously all of us looked at his value this morning. We're like, all right, it's going to be official. How much did we actually pay for him? And we saw that it was 4.5. I'm like, oh shoot.
Yeah, seeing somebody like this at 20 years old, it just shows that Curtin, Jason, and the whole staff, we're finding diamonds in the rough, which are very rare. Lachlan, Diogo. Well, Diogo's not really much of a diamond in the rough because he was playing with a big name team, but Lachlan and now Dominik. This is fantastic because 5 big players in a transfer window. I don't think this has ever happened in RSL history before.
Now I'll slow you down there. 4 decent players with one that we're like, really?
Yeah,
really?
yeah. But still, the fact that we're making this many moves, it shows that this front office wants to get some silverware or hardware, however you want to word it.
You know what? Speaking of that conversation, I've been seeing a lot more people on social media say silverware. I don't know.
Hardware.
But people have been saying silverware.
We're gonna win forks.
It's hardware. It's hardware.
It's
okay.
Hardware.
It's
We're not winning spoons, folks, or sporks. The MLS spork. The supporters spork.
The supporters spork.
No.
By the way, it's Jagiellonia. That's how you say it. Jagiellonia.
Jagiellonia. All right.
Stiok.
Well, good thing we don't have to pronounce it anymore because he's now part of RSL.
Well, if you look at him more on FOTMOB, if you scroll down, you look at his touches, chances created, aerial, all those things. I think what kind of stands out to me the most is you look at his shot attempts. It's only at 20%. I guess for somebody of that caliber, I was expecting kind of more in that attack instead of only at 20%.
Well, I think you're undervaluing the assist statistic. He's not one to take a shot unless he feels like he absolutely has to. He's there to set up for his teammates. In the game Champions League qualifier yesterday, he got an assist.
That's true.
He did get a yellow, but he got an assist.
I'm just really excited for him. For one, they're calling him one of the best Polish players coming up. He's already related or has connections with the national team, so that means he's going to be probably going to World Cup 26. Yeah. And on top of that, I'm super excited with he has a similar characteristic as Gomez, where he likes to dribble up the line and try to beat his defender, which which I'm most excited about, his speed. That yesterday, was it yesterday?
Well, yeah, something that you pointed out to me, Alan, when you're watching the game, you text me like, Dominik likes to play so far on the touchline.
He was super wide. He liked to play super wide when it was on like in the middle, which is something that Gomez liked to do as well. Because when you start off on the very edge, you get a lot of space to create in front of you. So that part I'm super excited about. Now, let's switch off of him. I guess not him completely, but let's talk about the 5 guys that we picked up. So we'll just start from the beginning. Again, we're just going to run through them just to remind ourselves who they are, where they're playing, and then let's come up with like a situation where that could possibly happen against San Jose. We're not going to obviously predict it, but let's talk about the different situations. So with Benji Michel, we're all in agreement that eye roll. This is a
I feel
third
bad,
string.
but
I mean,
Yeah, he's a decent player. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, he'll be the garbage minutes guy, like Julio was, but not great, not bad.
but where we're playing, decent's not good enough.
No, not at all.
now, when do you guys see Benji getting the most minutes? Is it only when either Julio or Chicho is injured?
Or if we're up 5-0.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we're up at some point 2-0, 3-1 in those garbage minutes, then yeah, throw him in. Because how often has Anderson Julio in the past gone in for more than 50 minutes off the bench?
Now, hot take. Do you see him, or actually, I might see him as a sub for the attacking midfielder, either Diogo
For Duo or Crooks?
I could see that.
or Crooks, only because of speed.
I could see that. That is something he did do well. To give
Not
him,
Houston.
Against Houston, to give him credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
He did do that very well.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he understands what his role is. I mean, that high pressure that Christian absolutely loves and doesn't stop talking about every single episode. It's true, though. It's true.
Do you blame him? High pressure is where it's at.
It's true. That's where I
come
see
on,
Benji.
Man City fans.
Yeah.
Look, I'm still looking for a Julian Alvarez. This team needs a Julian Alvarez.
I think the Premier League just got a little bit more even. Because
I think so too.
City stagnated a little bit. Man, you did get better.
This is actually might be a really tight race for the top 6.
As it should be. Anyway.
Anyways, we'll talk about that maybe at the very end. Our next pickup was Javane
Brown.
Javane Brown. This one necessary. In fact,
I like it.
Solid pickup for our back line, which was kind of sealing a little bit of holes, and this clears up people moving over from right over to left. So,
in fact, let's talk a little bit about that because who had to leave was Oviedo because of all this.
Yeah, so obviously we'll touch on it in a second. He holds that international spot. Age was a factor too, so we had to part ships with him. So, but on the plus side, with the MLS Super Draft coming up, he might get picked up in that from possibly San Diego. So who knows?
But let's maybe I want to go down this rabbit hole real quick, guys. Follow me. There's been a lot of shouts out on social media because they had to get rid of Oviedo, and everyone was like, "Well, what about Brody? I don't want Brody." Now, if international roster spot wasn't an issue, does Oviedo stay?
That's a good one.
We're just playing what if at this point.
I would say
no.
Oh, I was gonna say I would say yes.
Well, I'm gonna need an explanation from both of you.
I would keep Oviedo just because for the experience that he can bring to maybe coach, help the younger guys. I would drop Brody because he hasn't been shown his full potential. He's gotten beat several times on that right side.
Well, Christian, give me the opposite.
I actually think the opposite. Our back line is old, relatively speaking. The youngest one being Catranis. He's the youngest.
I think
Hidalgo.
Or Hidalgo. But still, like, you think about it, it's an older back line. There's no, like, compared to the rest of the squad, there's no up-and-coming, really, defender that would, necessarily be coached by Oviedo and kind of supported that way. Oviedo was just kind of there.
Yeah.
I think. Brody at least he's had massive flubs this season, but he's also had incredibly important moments where his vision, his style of play came in clutch.
I'm going to break the tiebreaker. I'm actually going to go with Christian on this one. Sorry, Marcos. Only because I don't. I agree with what Christian said in terms of old age. Oviedo is a good defender. not saying he's bad, but he's now, 33, 34?
Yeah.
And so at
Old,
this
yeah.
point, old. I mean, I'm going to get the exact age right now. Oviedo is 34. He turned 34 this year, just like me. Yeah. Stop it.
Viejo.
Viejo. So with Oviedo being that old, and we have all our wingers are mid-20s or less.
Mm-hmm,
So
exactly.
so why would you put in Oviedo over Brody?
Like
I think
I see the point where you guys are coming from, obviously the age, but there needs to be like a good balance. So maybe at least keep one veteran in maybe every position, like the midfield, defense, goalie. Like obviously we have McMath, who's up there in age. We have Marcelo's towards the end of his career. Let's get real, but
I think Marcelo's out of a contract at the end of the year.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, he is.
So-
He is.
So
But
it does. So it didn't make sense to release him at this time.
Yeah, exactly. So, so we definitely have Javane playing on that right side. We all think he's probably going to be a starter. Let's Lachlan. Lachlan is the cheapest transfer that we got this window.
how cheap is he?
$350,000.
So, yeah, something like that. It's like super cheap. But this one has me kind of not scratching my head, but I wonder if we're going to be letting Chang off the hook.
That would make sense.
Yeah, because
it's-
I thought that prior to us getting rid of Gomez, that all that, but now it's just like it seems that Chang is the backup for that right side still.
I see Ching more back up in the middle still.
In the middle.
That's
Like-
where he's been. That's where he's been having the most production this season. Lachlan Brook, I'm still a fan of the signing. It's a little head scratchy now after signing Dominik Marczuk. Just a little bit head scratchy. I think they are going to have to push each other, and I think Lachlan's going to have more to prove. Dominik is coming from Europe, which looks a lot sexier than Australia.
Yes. Yeah, it definitely is a lot sexier. And on top of that, you have Dominic has Champions League experience in terms of at least doing qualifications. I'm not saying Bodo or however we pronounce the team that they played against yesterday. I'm not saying that they're Champions League favorites, but
Champions.
but it's definitely
Between Lachlan and Dominic, they're definitely going to be battling for their position for that one, and I'm excited to see how that one is going to come down to the wire.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about our biggest one, our number 10 now.
It's Diogo time.
It's Diogo time. So with Diogo coming in, Diogo comes with obviously Champions League experience. He has
Good Champions League experience.
Good enough to beat your team Champions League experience.
That's good Champions League experience.
Exactly. But so see, he's a goal scorer. He's a chance creator. I mean, is there anything wrong we can say about this guy right now? Obviously, we haven't seen him play for RSL, but I mean, what do you guys expect? Do we expect like Chicho level numbers? Gomez level numbers?
I would expect somebody to be able to contribute to either goals or assists and bring that experience and help out Luna to hopefully get to his potential where he wants to go, because Luna, I know, wants to get to Europe or wherever, and I'm hoping that Diogo can help push him along that course.
I mean, Diogo, I think is well, everyone's already said it. He's the number 10 that we've been looking for this whole time.
Exactly.
Now, is this the number 10 that you guys were thinking of? Like this isn't a big name. And in terms of, like, were you guys thinking like big name number 10?
We don't have the budget for a big name number 10.
Do we?
Not really. Even with the sale of Andres Gomez. we wouldn't be able to get a Bruno Fernandes or,
True.
I
mean, we netted, I think, 10 million. I think this
Yeah.
transfer window.
Yeah, we did. I guess surprised, not really. I think overall, out of all these transfers, minus Lachlan, I'm kind of surprised all of them came from Europe, because normally we've seen in the past where we get most of our transfers from South America. Not this time. All European players, minus Lachlan and Benji. But yeah, kind of head scratchy, like surprised. Not something we're used to.
Australia, the new country in Europe.
I think the growth of MLS, and we have to thank the likes of Messi and others for putting MLS on the board for Europe.
Mm-hmm.
They knew we existed, but all of a sudden when we've got these high caliber players playing here even at an older age, and still Messi plays at Miami and turns around and wins the Copa America, everyone's like,
Exactly.
Don't see Ronaldo coming out of Saudi Arabia and winning the Euros. I'm sorry. Something was in my throat.
That's funny. Now, speaking of MLS growing and whatnot, there's a question that was proposed. There was a comment that I want us to maybe talk a little bit about, because what you're saying is that we can't get a big number 10 because either we don't have the budget, we're not attractive enough, etc.
I would say it's mostly budget for RSL.
You think so? Let's let me read you guys the comment real quick. So there, I guess I'm just going to read it out from Joe Marsden. He says, our family talks about the big signings that the other MLS teams have made, which we'll get into in just a moment. Currently and in the past. Maybe not the Beckhams and the Messis, but the Drogbas and the Lampards, the Gerrards. Why isn't, or why can't RSL make those big name signings? Is it the Salt Lake market, the money, the attraction of living in LA or New York or Miami?
I think for me, obviously money has to do a big factor of that, but I think another one, location, because how many international people in Europe are going to be like, I want to go raise my family in Salt Lake City?
That's because they've never been. If they come, they might want to.
Yeah, where people are like New York, LA, Miami, they're like, I want to go where all the glitz, the glam, the beach. So yeah, their first choice never going to be Salt Lake City. And
all right. I mean, Christian, you already mentioned money. Do you want to add on to that?
Yeah, I mean, money's obviously going to be a big thing. Honestly, and I'm going to say this, MLS has been known to block transfers to small markets. Because it's not going to make the league as much money. Imagine if, what would happen if the likes of Messi came and played in Salt Lake? Miami wouldn't be as popular as it is right now. Miami is a very large market. It has a very large potential fan base. Salt Lake City is still relatively small.
Yeah. I mean, just to put this into
Relatively.
perspective, I was thinking about this today when I was looking at Twitter and looking at the amount of views that, for instance, the RSL tweet gets. And I'm like, in 2 hours, RSL tweet gets like 5,500 views. That's it. And I'm thinking to myself, really? Where are the RSL fans? So, I totally get it, Christian. I mean, that makes sense. It's a bummer though. But I guess I'm trying to think of, has there been any big names that have gone to smaller markets in the MLS?
I'm trying to think.
Big names?
Like big names?
No.
I mean, is
Chicago?
Chicago?
They're
No.
not large. You can't compare the size of the market to the quality of the team.
I guess, do we want to say Ache? Is Houston considered a small?
No, Houston's large market.
Yeah.
So like a small market, we'd have to go like to Charlotte.
I was gonna say
to Colorado.
Maybe a Swiderski in Charlotte, an Alan Polito in KC.
And that's not even close to the level of big signing.
Now, Colorado had Tim Howard.
But that's
Yeah.
domestic.
Zach Steffen.
That's true. But he's right. Domestic. I mean, they're U.S. national players.
Yeah. So
We would have to get, like, Marco Royce to LA Galaxy levels.
There's your there you
Weston,
go.
no, not Weston McKinney, but yeah,
No.
like no, but
But that would be domestic too if that happened.
yeah. So it all comes down to the money, location. It's one can only hope and wish and dream.
Well, and actually, I think it has to do with Don Garber. Where does Don Garber want the most money to go? I mean, that's
I was trying not to name drop him. But,
too late.
Well, look,
We're gonna get shut down.
no, it all comes down to there's 2 LA teams, there's 2 New York teams, so
Yeah, I mean, it's true. If Messi didn't go to Miami, for example, Miami would have folded for a second time.
facts, absolutely.
Facts. Well, I mean, speaking of which, let's talk about the MLS. There's a couple of MLS teams that have also done some moves that have been notable, and I want to ask you guys what notable transfers you guys have seen in the league, and if at all is going to improve that team or the league.
The one that I want to mention is the one that happened today, Chicago, with Shaqiri finally parting ways. It was something that should have happened the day that he arrived to Chicago. The man has only performed well when he plays and puts on that Switzerland jersey. He hasn't played well for Chicago at all.
I would even argue that he never really played well ever, but that's just
Like
me.
he showed up in the Euros and
He did.
he did decent at the Euros, but for Chicago, like his first season for Chicago, he put up some good numbers, but then it just plummeted downhill. Like
Yeah.
Kai Kamara, when he played for Chicago, did better than Shaqiri at one point.
Who hasn't Kai Kamara played for? RSL, that's basically it.
It's true. Christian, did you see any transfer that caught your eye?
I mean, Marco Royce said the Galaxy, but that was expected. That I would say that is still a big signing. I don't think Marco Royce is going to do much there. So this is how I think it's going to happen. He's going to pull Frank Lampard.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would like to be pleasantly surprised and see him perform well in LA.
I don't
But-
see Marco Royce as a starter for LA at all. He's going to
He's coming in to coast down. He's
All right.
pulling a Frank
So
Lampard.
someone
What-
made a bet with me real quick about Marco Royce. We're just gonna keep labeling him as a soccer dad on my son's team. So soccer dad says, "Hey, if Marco Royce wins MLS Cup with the Galaxy, I'm gonna buy you a Marco Royce shirt and you have to wear it on one of your episodes."
and that's when we burn that jersey.
No,
you don't burn a good jersey.
No,
What
you
is
don't burn
wrong with you?
I said sure, bring it on. I know it's not going to happen, so I said yeah, bring it on.
What
I would
happens
say-
if he doesn't win? What's the opposite side?
Well, it doesn't matter because
I
it's
was
just he's a big Marco Royce and a Dortmund fan, just like you are.
Okay, respect to that, but LAFC with Giroud have a better shot at winning MLS Cup than Marco Royce with Galaxy.
I don't know about that.
Both LA teams have come up to play this season. But
No, I see LAFC as more of a dangerous team. Like, yeah, they're
true.
deep
Overall.
their defense is very lackluster, but their attack is more dangerous than the Galaxy.
I don't know. The French always get second, so
I've got an interesting bit of news about lack of transfers, though.
bring it on.
Okay,
Who made
let's hear it.
0 moves? in this
I think a couple of teams.
I'm gonna say,
Well,
wasn't it Kansas City?
The biggest one for me is actually the Sounders.
Oh, ooh.
Sounders made no moves this season.
That's kind of
this window.
That's kind of a bit of a shocker with them going into the next round of the League's Cup as well as Open Cup coming up.
I think they spent all their money on that De La Vega, and now they can't recover.
And boy has he's been a bust for them.
Sporting Kansas, Marcos did bring in 2 players, Joaquin Fernandez from Turkey, and then Ozzy Cisneros from coming back from a loan. And then they did sell one of their left wingers to a Slovakian team.
All right.
So yeah, it's the Sounders were literally the only ones to be like, nah, we're good. We don't want to win.
Very interesting. Didn't know that. Obviously, I don't like Seattle anyway, so I probably should have kept track of that. Anyways, here's my transfer news that I thought was very interesting. Charlotte getting Tim Ream.
Yeah, I saw that as well, and I'm over here scratching my head. I'm like, is that the right move for you to make? Because he was decent for the U.S. men's national team, but signing a 36-year-old, no, not the right move. No.
I mean, it depends on how bad their defense has been.
Charlotte's defense has needed it, and the thing is, Tim Ream is still a Premier League caliber defender.
I mean, the dude was still playing in Copa America.
Like, I think smart move by Charlotte, questionable move by Tim Ream. Unless he's recognizing that his career's in deep sunset and he wants to leave England and come home.
I mean, how long was he at Fulham? I feel like he was at Fulham forever.
I believe it was 2012 was the last time that he played in the MLS with the Red Bulls.
Yeah, so he'd been with Fulham since 2015. Holy crap!
Good for him.
312 caps.
Yeah, that's quite the time.
Tim Ream, if you're listening to this, you're a legend.
I heard that he's a regular listener.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, weird.
But also, speaking of Charlotte, the news has been that they've been trying to get Almiron from Newcastle.
That failed because he was like, no.
Bro, I'm like, all right, it's all right to wish, but I mean, really?
No. Keep Miggy in Newcastle.
That's like whenever I play Football Manager 25 as RSL, and the first thing I do is make a bid for Messi. They're like, his cam's like, who are you?
The only Messi they give you is like a rank 67.
Here's a sticker.
Here's a sticker of Messi. That's the only Messi you'll get. It's so funny. Oh my gosh. But with all these moves that are happening in MLS now,
dude, what a transfer window.
What a flippin' transfer window. So going back to RSL, because I think we dominated the transfer window out of all the teams. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about where these guys are going to go, especially our wings and how they're going to combine with Chicho, with Luna. From what I've read in a couple messages, there's some visa. I'll say issues. They're not really like issues, but there's still some outstanding visa things that need to be worked out with Lachlan and Dominik. So August 24th against San Jose, who do we have? If we're still going to be with the visa issue with Lachlan and Dominik, who do you guys see starting on that right wing?
Chang.
Who do we have left? Who's left?
It's that or Brody.
Yeah, it's gonna.
No, stop. They said no. They said no more Brody on the wing.
It's gonna be Chang. It's gonna be
Chang.
Crooks in the middle. Diogo on the left.
What the heck? Stop.
What?
Where's Luna?
What?
Luna's out. Remember, yellow card accumulation.
Oh, that's right.
So it has to be Diogo on the left with Chicho up top.
Glad someone's keeping track.
Diego, thank you for playing your heart out for us. We love you, dude.
I was like, how many episodes have I mentioned that?
Only one or two. In fact, only one.
It's been a week. Give us a break.
Yeah, okay. Come on.
Some of us have jobs.
So Diogo will be on that left, Crooks in the middle, and Chicho up top.
That's.
but you guys really think Chang is going to start on that right wing? I need it.
Who else? Who else?
I would go out on a limb and say that maybe throw out a. Oh, maybe they'll put in Bodie.
That actually I wouldn't be against at all because we'd have Brown starting for his first game at right back. So that I could work with. That would be.
I don't know if I've seen enough offensive production out of Bodie to justify that unless they figure that out in practice.
I mean,
Nothing
I bet they've done
Bodie.
it. They've done it before.
They did.
What game was it?
Was
it the Chicago? No, it was the Chicago game.
No, it was an early game this season, but I feel like if it's just for one game and one game only, why not? And then moving forward, you have your other two players that you can turn to.
I'm just saying on FOTMob, they have Bodie as a right back, center back, and then a right winger.
That's true. Yeah. So
we're too deep into the season to be experimenting like that, I think.
But, I mean,
we don't have much
Chang,
of a choice.
Exactly. To put Chang out on the wing, I think, is more of a liability than putting Bodie out there.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, I've been a pro-Chang person this whole time. And I'm not anti-Chang either. I'm just saying Bodie, I think, would be better off in that position, and then maybe bring on Chang as a substitute for him.
This is all barring that Lachlan and Dominik aren't available, but obviously if they are available, then they're their first priority. But yeah, we'll just see what happens because this is just one game. Luckily, it's only San Jose. It could be worse. It could be Seattle. It could be Galaxy, but this is just San Jose. So
we can't go into the game like that. It's just San Jose.
That's true.
We talked about last week. Basically every game moving forward is a must-win scenario.
It's true, and we're talking about the same San Jose team that made it farther in the League's Cup than we did. I mean,
we went down like the Hindenburg, baby.
That was really bad, guys.
Oh,
like,
gosh.
Yeah, it kind of worries me. Now, speaking of the rest of the season, thanks for bringing that up. Let's talk about how many. Let's talk about the rest of the season. We have 6 of the last 9 at home, 4 of the next 5. I think that's what it is at home. Now, with the remaining amount of games, looking at the opponent, I'm going to need you guys to pull up your schedule.
I've got it.
I have the next 2 games memorized. I don't know who we play after that.
So it's San Jose, then New England, then we're away to Houston again.
Oh, why? Why?
Because the soccer gods want
Don
to
hates
test
us.
Well, that's not everybody knows that already. Then Dallas, Portland, then away to Austin, and then back home against Minnesota.
Back home in Minnesota, and then away to San Jose, and then home last game, Dummies homecoming.
Those are all, I guess, winnable games. So, Alan, let's start with you. With those 9 games, 6 of those being at home, how many points realistically does RSL get?
Out of 9, so 9
that's
times 3, 27.
That's 27. 27. Okay. Thank you for your math.
Okay. We're going to go game by game, but this is going to be like almost lightning round. San Jose, win. You guys?
Win.
Okay.
Win.
Someone keep track of it on their phone. That's 3 points. New England, win.
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 Houston, tie.
Draw.
L.
Oh, all right. So we're at 7 points, and you're at 6 still.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, it's a midweek game.
Since we're at home, I think we can win.
You think it's a win? All right, I'm going to pull up my own calculator. I'm going to give them my own points. I think Dallas is, because it's a midweek game coming off of a Houston away game.
Another freaking midweek game.
Yeah, another midweek game. That one's going to be a rough one.
I'm going to go win.
But here's the thing. If I go win here, I'm going to go a draw against Portland at home.
I think draw against Portland.
I'm gonna go loss.
What the heck? You're like lost king right now. Tie. Oh, that was a win. Sorry, I'm counting up mine. Tie against Portland. Austin for me is going to be a win.
Draw.
I think a draw because it's at Austin. That's the only reason.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah.
right. Minnesota at home.
Win.
That's going to be a win.
Win.
At San Jose.
Win.
Has to be. Home against Vancouver. Last game of the season.
This is the decision day, so this is an important one. This is a 3 points.
This is a draw for me.
My gut says draw.
So
I got 21.
I got 19.
Mine total comes out to 19 points.
So I guess I'm the optimistic
19
one.
out of 27. That means we're taking advantage of 70% of the available points, which is not good.
You don't think that's good?
I was like, I think that's decent.
It's decent.
But I guess maybe divide that. What's you said 19?
Divide by 27.
That would put us at 63 points in the table.
Now, but let's talk about how many points per game you're taking home at that point. You're taking home, what is that, 19 divided by 9? You're taking that 2.1 points per game?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's not.
It's not the best. I mean, but to everyone's point, all these games are winnable. Every single one of these teams are below us in the table.
They are.
The only games that are really worry me are the ones in the middle: Houston, Dallas, Portland.
Yeah,
And that's the 3 in 1 week. It's gonna turn into it's gonna turn into like the Portland LAFC Colorado July that we just had.
See,
moving Dominic, Diogo, and Javane. Holy cow!
for these last 9 games, we just need to focus and just get that 4th spot. Get home field advantage. That's all that matters. Because if you get home field advantage, then you can control your own destiny in the playoffs.
It's true. As long as we get above 4th, I think we're good.
Because we saw how much that hurt us last year in the playoffs, being the 5th seed and having to go twice to Houston.
That killed us. In fact, if we can come back here twice, that's going to be killer. I think we have the best home atmosphere to lead us through. Out of the teams that are below us, to be honest. When you have 3 people at a Houston game, it's pretty easy to beat.
It's very true.
One last topic. Let's go to a U.S. national team. We left this one for last because, I don't know how much we can actually say on it, but apparently Pochettino is going to be the new U.S. national team coach.
He's a brave soul. Good luck. Good luck to him.
I hope he doesn't get bullied into keeping some of the players that shouldn't stay.
Well, someone had mentioned that what's the guy's name? Matt Crook.
Yeah,
Matt Crockett.
something
Whatever.
like that.
That's it.
Crockett. That's what it is. Sure, whatever his name is. Apparently, he was at Southampton at the same time that Pochettino was manager at Southampton. So they have a relationship. So someone's thinking that this might not be in terms of like best coaching option, but more of convenience. And Pochettino is probably looking to get out of Chelsea. Chelsea sounds like a really toxic environment. Look what flipping happened to Enzo. So, I don't know. What do you guys think of Pochettino becoming manager? Give me your thoughts.
Definitely better than Berhalter, which is not much at all. But
That ain't saying much, bro.
No, but he definitely will bring that experience, that coaching experience from being in Chelsea, coaching in Champions League. So I'm excited. We'll see what he can bring for this squad moving forward, but you can't really judge much yet. So
I think all things considered, he is the best choice from who's available. Like Marco said, he does bring a high level coaching experience. He has experience on some of the world's biggest stages, and I don't think he'll take the haphazard, mediocre play that we've received recently.
You know what? I might be a little more negative on this one, only because he's one of the least impressive Argentine coaches around, to be honest. And so, and especially with his record in Champions League, he only got to one final with Tottenham, lost. He hasn't won a major title with any team. In fact, when I look on Wikipedia, under honors for manager, he's won, looks like Football League Cup runner-up 2014-2015, Champions League runner-up 18-19, and that's with Tottenham. PSG, he won the league 21-22. He won the Coupe de France 2021 and Trophée des Champs in 2020, which, I mean, 2020 is almost like X'd out for everyone.
Right.
Last year, he was runner-up in the EFL Cup with Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, he's won Manager of the Month a couple of times. So, I mean, when people think Pochettino, yeah, everyone thinks of Tottenham. He did a really good job with Tottenham. He helped develop Harry Kane into who he is today. He also dealt with other good players like Dele Alli, Son. Who else can we think of at Tottenham? That was back in the mid 2010s.
I was saying, no, not Eriksson.
I mean, yeah, no, you're right, Eriksson.
Eriksson, yeah.
So I mean, he's dealt with good players, but he's never like gone above anything like outstanding. He's just a good coach.
That's what we need, though, at the U.S. level. We haven't had a consistent good coach in a long time. I thought it was Jurgen Klinsmann until he decided to completely switch tactics in the quarterfinals of the 2010 World Cup, or 2014, excuse me.
Yeah, 2014, yeah.
But we just need a solid, good coach. We've got good players that have chemistry, which is something that is rare for a national team.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, and might I point out here that if he does become coach, which most likely is going to be confirmed,
yeah,
this is going to be our first Hispanic coach, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
The first
Bruce Arena, not Hispanic.
The first non-American since we've only had 2 non-Americans.
No, that's a lie. In the 90s.
I was going to say we had in the 90s.
Yeah, we've had a couple of non-Americans. Just we haven't had any Hispanics.
So
at least from what I've been able to see, and I guess I'm going to count ever since U.S. Soccer quote unquote woke up in 1994.
No, I'm hoping that he is going to push these guys to hopefully their best potential, so they're not just lackluster on the field, getting beat by Panama, Costa Rica. So we'll see. We'll see come next month against Canada, in these friendlies, what he can bring for this squad.
Funny thing. Once this is confirmed, you know what this means that U.S. Soccer has done to Chelsea?
Oh, yeah, I saw.
Taken both head coaches away from Chelsea.
Both men and women's.
Both men and women's. And Emma Hayes, she has turned that team around so freaking fast.
Grinding and getting
over her Pochettino.
Grinding and getting a gold. That was impressive.
It really was. It really was.
I'm apprehensive a bit like you, Alan, but I'm being optimistic. Bring on the boludes and all the remacanas of an Argentine to U.S. soccer. Alexi Lawless, I'm disagreeing with your disagreement on this one. I think there's the possibility for good things here.
All right. I'm totally down. Totally down. Guys, that was a lot.
We didn't even talk about a game.
We didn't even talk about a game. Imagine if we talked about a game. All right, last thoughts here. Well, what?
The big one. We
What?
saw in Salt Lake Till I Die.
Oh. Yep, bring it on. Give it to us.
I guess I'm pulling up. I guess you already have it on your phone.
I've got it pulled up too.
Okay.
Go, Christian, go.
Well, it came up on Salt Lake Till I Die 2025 schedule. We believe we are going to have a very attractive schedule for the 2025 season, with major superstars from all over the world visiting America First Field for the first and potential only time, creating a once-in-a-lifetime opportunities with priority access exclusively for season ticket members and inventory that will likely never be available in a general public sale.
Ooh.
Now-
Just listening to that, I think I know what it might be. You know what's happening next summer, you guys?
Club World Cup.
Club World Cup. I think RSL is hosting the Club World Cup here.
Well, hosting a game, probably.
A game. And you know who I'm hoping is going to be here? River Plate. River Plate against Real Madrid here at America First Field.
Oh, I would go
Guys,
to that so fast.
I would pay. I mean, look what I wear. Look what I wear, because they won tonight. So,
Barely.
now
Barely.
here's my question though. Where did that info come from?
I think season ticket holders got that message just so they could get first dibs right away.
If that's the case, that's eye catching.
Leakers.
Because that's the only thing that makes sense, because I don't think it's a friendly. No. It's not gonna be Miami. No. So
I mean,
Especially talk about one-of-a-kind merch that won't be available to the general public. Come on.
well, and also first and potentially only time.
like, you don't know how
Club World Cup makes sense.
but out of all places, why here? Like, yes, of course I want to see a big name team like City Madrid play here, but why here? We have such a small stadium compared to all these other NFL stadiums.
Well, because Club World Cup got expanded, so it's huge. I mean, just like the World Cup, it got expanded. That's why we're going to be a base for a couple of national teams.
Argentina? What?
What? Sorry, they didn't build here. But I think this might be just a test run for us to maybe have a game or two here. And on top of that, I mean, most likely we're going to get the Red Antlers from Japan and like some Egyptian team. But
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. They bring good soccer, I'm sure.
But I mean, but that's what I'm saying. We're going to be able to. I think you're right with the Club World Cup.
Y'all just take a look at FIFA's Club World Cup site. There are 3 slots left.
How many slots are available?
32 total.
So
3
people are
slots
still
left. 2024 Copa Libertadores winners is one. The CONMEBOL ranking pathway, and one team from the host country.
One team from the host country.
One
Wait.
team
with
with no hyperlink.
Could it be
The winner of Leagues Cup?
Columbus?
No, aren't they already on the list?
RSL,
No, it's only
Real
Seattle.
Salt Lake.
No, Seattle's the
We're
only.
going to win the whole damn game. We're RSL, Real Salt Lake.
That's good.
We're going to win
Do it.
the whole damn game.
No, I believe at the moment it's only Seattle's the only MLS team.
Maybe
in
it's the MLS Cup winner. I think we might have to look into that a little bit more. Someone knows, just we don't.
Hey, but
FIFA doesn't know.
who knows? This is exciting news just to think about for the potential for next year.
It's true.
If this is, stay tuned, everybody. Stay tuned.
All right. Now, before we even get any farther into any other topic, we need to end this, guys.
Yeah.
Let's cut it off here because, man, we could go on forever. So, Christian, give me your final thoughts.
Exciting transfer window. Sad to see Andres go, but wish him all the best of luck. I hope you smash PSG every time you play them, because they deserve to be brought down a notch.
Yes.
They are the
Please.
LAFC of France.
But LAFC is French. Anyways. Marco's last thoughts.
Exactly. Thank you, Andres Gomez, for everything you brought to this team. We appreciate you for these last 2 years. You were the best. Best of luck for Stade Rennais in, I think that's correct, Stade Rennais in France. And these next 9 games, we got to grind. Grind 6 of them at home. This is going to be awesome. So, can't wait.
Well, I can't say any more than you guys have already said. So, Marcos, send us off.
Awesome, you guys. Make sure you guys are following us at Instagram, at Twitter, at the RSL Bros. Listen to us on Spotify and Apple, and watch us right here on YouTube.
Sounds good. Hasta luego.
Take care, guys. We'll catch you next time.